just went, saw Blackhat.
Not White Hat?
Not White Hat, not the Blacklist, although the same guys in both movies. Same guys in the Blacklist. He was actually like one of the best villains on the Blacklist, and he's in this one. That's when he showed up. I'm like, oh, you're going to do something important, because I remember the last time you were involved in something that involves guns and Asian women. But you know, for January, this wasn't a horrible movie. It was watchable. Like, usually in January, you know, that's where they just dump everything out in January. That's why I was surprised when this was, I mean, I hadn't heard of this till like maybe a few weeks ago, but I was like, oh, it's a Michael Mann movie. Usually those will get, you know, some kind of decent release, but this isn't really even being marketed too heavily. It's just kind of there. For a January movie, it's good. I don't know if I'd sit down and watch it again right away.
I mean, I probably would.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's just, it was long. It's a long movie. Like, I know it was a little over 2 hours. It didn't need to be this 2-hour movie, over 2-hour movie of, for a story that's honestly kind of simple. Yeah, you know, there's a guy hacking the stock exchange, and he hacked the power plant to almost have a meltdown. And then they hire Chris Hemsworth. The government comes in and gets Chris Hemsworth out of prison, as he's a super master hacker. And
yeah, he gives up the hammer now. He's not Thor anymore.
He's not. Well, why would he?
He becomes a human.
Well, yeah, I guess he did.
I'm kidding.
So this Chinese cop shows up. Detective comes and says, there's only one guy that can do this, so we need Chris Hemsworth to fight this hacker. And then the reason that they get him isn't just by reputation, it's because they knew each other in college. And the program that was used to hack everything was actually designed by the Chinese detective and Chris Hemsworth. So he looked at the code and went, I did this. We need the other guy who wrote this with me because somebody messed with our work. So that's why they go get him. So that starts, and then the Chinese detective brings his sister because Chris Hemsworth needs someone to fuck. So they do, in front of like this, you know, the city skyline, and he just looks at her and goes, well, this place is ending. He's been about 10 years in jail, and they're in love now. So they have to find the hacker, and then they find the hacker. That's really it. It's honestly this really simple story. There's like no twist where one of the cops, I keep saying cop, but I mean, you know, one of the detectives doesn't end up being the hacker. There's no like twist, or, like double agents or anything. It's a pretty straightforward story. And it probably should have been told as a straightforward story. It didn't need to be told as a lot of these slow, you know, methodical scenes of people staring in the distance. And, you know, sometimes it's some beautiful shots. Sometimes it looks really great. But you are sitting there like, did this movie need this? Did the story need this? It's not really that deep of a story.
Yeah, there was a lot they could have cut out.
Yeah, there definitely was. There's a lot that could have been this definitely could have been maybe 15 minutes shorter. Maybe 15, 20 minutes shorter. The ending worked. The ending was awesome.
Oh.
The ending was like the best part.
Yeah.
Where he's, they finds the hacker and just
Mutilated him.
Mutilates the shit out of him. Yeah, if we're gonna go into spoilers. Yeah, fuck it. We'll go into spoilers. So, the guy from the Blacklist, he's looking for Chris Hemsworth, and Chris Hemsworth is actually behind him, and it's like this giant festival parade going on. So they're walking against the crowd, and you think that Chris Hemsworth, being Hemsworth, I can talk, he's getting chased, but he's really behind him in 2 seconds before he attacks him. The Russian dude, I don't know his name, is actually probably Ukrainian, because they said Ukraine earlier in the movie. But he pulls a gun on him at the last second, and he's like, no, it's I who have you, And at that second, Chris Hemsworth has a gun on him, and he's like, wait a minute, I can just grab the gun, and then pull out the screwdriver I had in my arm, and just stab him in the temple. Just like, no! I'm like, alright, spit when I talk. Like, okay, that made up for the last 20 minutes before being kind of boring. But then the actual hacker shows up, and it's this British guy. He looked really familiar. I can't think of who he was.
He did, but
I can't think of what he was in. But he says, I've got these 2 other henchmen, and then Chris Hemsworth goes, oh, you mean these 2? Bang, bang. And the guy's like, oh. But then he shoots him, but he gets like a couple hits here, and he's okay, because he has magazine Kevlar. He strapped magazines to himself to absorb the bullets. So guy runs at him, and he's down with a knife. Chris Hemsworth goes, I just stabbed another dude. Alright, break his arm. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Plop. And then he takes his new Chinese girlfriend, and they go to the airport, and then because this all is in Indonesia, the Indonesian NSA is watching him, and then it ends, and it's like, I don't think there's any reason. It's not leading into a sequel. It's just leading into, even after this movie is over, he's probably going to get caught, and he will never stop running. That's what it's saying.
yeah.
And that's what it is. It's just, for a January movie that I went in with low expectations, it was not bad. It's a Michael Mann movie, so it's going to look good. It was not a bad movie. I was getting bored sometimes. And it's 3:46 in the afternoon, and I was falling asleep. I was honestly falling asleep a couple times, just like, oh wait, no, not yet. All right.
It kept me awake.
Oh, they're shooting. Oh. This is good. Like, this is actually well done. The gunfights are well done because it's Michael Mann, so it's, if he's going to do anything right, it's going to be getting the gunfights down, the shootouts, and that all sounded great. That all looked good. There's really not a lot to say. It was not a bad movie. I can't really complain about anything really being dumb. I mean, I like that he's a hacker, but every time he needs to hack into something, he doesn't just go, done, I ordered a pizza. Done. Alright. He does that near the end, but he actually, he'll grab some cop's phone and he'll mess with it and be like, here, I'll get you better reception. And then he fixes this guy's phone. He grabs some other guy's phone and says, hey, do you have Android? Because, product placement. And then he quickly downloads an app onto the guy's phone to find a bug. And it's some stranger that we never see again. Or he does little things that are actually like little clever spy things. It's not just, I have a laptop I can hack into, I can hack into the traffic signals and make them all green, or I can hack into the security camera on that red light camera, you know, or I can hack into that passing sign that has words on it, and I can make it say what I want because I have a laptop. Like, it doesn't pull that shit. So it's a little more clever than I was expecting, but at the same time, I'm gonna forget most of this movie. Maybe I'll remember the him stabbing people at the end and just shanking motherfuckers, but for the most part, just I don't mind that I saw it. It's a Saturday afternoon. I'm about to go to work. It was an enjoyable little ride. It's worth watching, like on Netflix, but you know, for a January movie, not horrible. Real quick, I know how much battery's left. I know you don't have a lot.
Like 3 minutes.
Okay, real quick. We got some trailers. 50 Shades of Grey movie. It comes out on Valentine's Day. I have no intention of seeing it. The main thing I'm thinking about is Seventh Son, which is this Jeff Bridges movie with like dragons and wizards, and he's a knight, and he's got this guy he's training. And the only thing about this movie is that it was supposed to come out in 2013. Like, they've been sitting on this movie and putting trailers in theaters for like a month and then pulling it for a year. And I guess it's finally going to happen. It's finally going to come out, and then we can go see it and go, well, that sucked, and then that'll be it. And then finally, the sequel to Hitch, called Focus, with Will Smith teaching the girl from Wolf of Wall Street how to be a con man. And if you've seen 5 other con man movies, I mean, I guess I'll go see it depending on the reviews, but I mean, there's really so many ways a movie like that can end and begin, so I'm not looking too much forward to it, but that's about it. So that's all. Blackhat, decent. Have a good day.
No! This is Patrick!